So I hope I'm not going to disappoint you after that build-up. Blimey. So what I'll do is I'm going to take you through my recipe. And the reason I've used my recipe and I've used the ingredients is because John said to me, could you deconstruct a speaker showreel? And being Italian, my passion is food and wine. And I thought, I've seen these lovely menus where they deconstruct your favourite food. And I thought, well, I'll do that. I'll use that as my, my format. And it made it a lot easier, actually, for me to say, this is how you do it, these are the ingredients. This is my experience, my recipe. It might not be yours, so please just take it as my opinion. So, the definition for me of a speaker showreel, if I had to give it, it has to be a standalone movie trailer. So if it can stand alone and tells me everything I need and everything my end client needs in order to book you, that's a great showreel. That works. And it's a trailer, it's a movie trailer. It doesn't give away the end. It doesn't, unless, of course, it's Titanic. I mean, that's fair enough. Everybody knows what the end is. But it doesn't give away the sort of everything, but it gives you enough to say, actually, I want to go and see the rest of this speech, I want to book this person. So that's what it is. Standalone movie trailer, for me, is my definition. So there's some questions you need to ask yourself before you start. And the obvious one is, do I actually need a showreel? If you're fully booked, got lots of work going on, you don't. And there's some areas where you really don't need a showreel. If you are Richard Branson, you don't need a showreel. You really don't. So you really think about it. Do I need it? Do I need to get one? You think he does, maybe, okay. And actually, if you don't need a showreel, if you've decided you've answered that question and you want to go to Starbucks, you are very welcome to get up and go, or the pub around the corner. Please don't. You don't have to stay. Then the other question is, how will I use it? How am I going to use the showreel? How does it fit in my business? And am I ready to create a showreel? Because if you don't know who your target audience is, if you don't know what your key messaging is, if you don't know what you're delivering to your end client, you're not ready to make a showreel at all. Who is my viewer going to be and how are they going to view it? Because a lot of people create these wonderful showreels, but they don't think about the fact that actually my viewer is this level of person, therefore I need to be giving a message that resonates with them. You've got to be thinking, who's that decision maker? And they're also not thinking about, are they watching it on a computer? They're watching it on a computer or a mobile or a tablet. They're not sitting in an audience. So you've got to think about, okay, this is what it needs to look great on screen. And often a lot of the video footage at events doesn't look great on screen. And then you've got to ask yourself, well, actually, what do I want my viewer to do once they've viewed it? And that's a really important question because that will help you summarise and end it and know what you're going to do with it, okay? Right, let's get to the recipe. Cooking time, okay? We've got a microwave. 3 minutes is the duration of your showreel, approximately 3 minutes. If you can do it shorter, wonderful. The preparation time will vary depending on whether you've got any footage, what kind of footage you've got, whether you've got testimonials, whether you've got all the ingredients that I'm going to list through. Okay, the first ingredient, I think, the very first thing, and this is the bit that people miss out, and I don't understand why they miss it out. They go straight into video, and it's like, hang on a minute, who are you? Why am I looking at your showreel? What is your expertise? Give me a bit of proof of that expertise and actually what am I going to see in this? And that introduction, ideally, should be third party. There are very few speakers who can stand up and say about themselves, I am this, I am that, I am the other. And it looks a bit vain and it doesn't work very well. So the best way, if you've been introduced at a conference by a famous MC or a recognisable name, that's a great way to introduce your video. Or you've perhaps been invited on a television programme and you've been introduced, preferably not Crime Watch. You could use that intro. Or if you're an adventurer or a sports person and there's some clips of you doing some amazing things, that's enough. If you're positioning yourself right at the beginning, it's like, okay, who is this person? Before they start to talk to me, who are they? So up front, you're telling the viewer who you are, your expertise, your proof, and a bit of the so what. You're grabbing them. So the other very important ingredient is the video clips themselves. Obviously, it goes without saying that they should be the highest res you can get. Sound is so important. There's so many really bad quality sound clips, lighting, etc. So you want the best of those. But the bit that I find really fascinating is that speakers get completely obsessed with showing the size of the audience. And it's like, so you've got this cameraman right at the back, and all the audience is all in the middle, and you can see this enormous audience, this tiny pin on stage talking. And I'm watching it on my computer, and I'm trying to sort of connect with this speaker who's delivering his message, and I can barely see them. I can just see this little dot on the stage. I don't care about the size of the audience. I want to see how you speak. Because in reality, the majority of the events that I'm booking for don't have enormous audiences, because a lot of them are internal events, or a lot of them are small companies. And guess what? Half the time when the audience is being filmed, they're on their phones texting. I don't want to see that, because it's showing me that he's not interested. He doesn't care. He doesn't even know I'm talking about him. That if I'm viewing that on a show reel, I don't know that. I don't know that, you see. Thank you. You edit that bit out. But that's the kind of thing. Or you see somebody's head bopping up and down in front of you, or you see them getting up because they're desperate to go to the loo, and you think, oh, God, this speaker's... So I actually don't want to see the audience. Unless they are all laughing, giving you a standing ovation, I don't want to see them. And often the audience is not as good looking as you lot. So it's just not required. Camera angles. Also, some of the camera angles are incredibly questionable. I don't know what these event organisers do when they pay. But, I mean, I've seen sides of the ears, up the nostrils. And it's like, how am I supposed to engage with you when I'm watching you on a computer and I've got the side of your head going like that, talking like that? That doesn't work for me. You need to talk to me. Yeah. Now, choosing the clips, this is really difficult. I think it's really hard for a speaker themselves to choose the clips, because you're going to choose the bits where you look your slimmest, the youngest, the best, where you had the best laugh. And what you really need to do is you need to put yourself in the position of the guy who's making the decision, who's going to book you, what's actually going to resonate with them. And it might be the bit where you sneezed in the middle or whatever, but it needs to be the correct messaging for them, not for you. It's not a vanity reel. My God, some vanity reels. I wanted to show you some bad examples, and I thought I can't, but privately, I'm very happy to do that. And they're people who send me their reels and they say, oh, I just made this fantastic reel. I'm going, oh my God. There is one, I won't mention the name. She sent me her reel and she was super proud, and I sat there and I watched it, and I watched 3 minutes. There was not one bit of voice. It was her getting on and off stages, being clapped, all music. And I said, fantastic music video. Fantastic. Brilliant. Absolute shite showreel. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know. I was speechless. Anyway, and in your clips, if you're a sports or adventurer, or you're somebody who's done something, has a really fascinating job, include those clips. Why not? It keeps me interested and engaged. The other bit that's really important is testimonials. It's much better for somebody else to say how wonderful you are rather than you saying it. So testimonials do that. Personally, I hate the vox pops. I hate the person standing up saying, oh, I've just heard that person speak. It was fantastic. It's changed my life. It's really brilliant. I don't know who the hell you are. Why am I listening to you? Now, if that's somebody in the industry who's really well recognised and respected, get that on tape. Absolutely, absolutely use it. But if it's some scruffy person who's come out of the audience who's just talking about how wonderful you are, get rid of it. And also ask them the right question when you're doing the testimonials. I like a written testimonial. I want to know the job title. I want a sexy job title and a sexy brand. And I want them to be peers of the decision makers that are going to be booking you, because that makes my life easy. Oh, my competitor had you. I better get you in. Right?
Maria, what about the organiser you got as a vox pop that actually said we booked him and he's great? Is that...
Booked him and he's great doesn't help me as a decision maker. I'm expecting you to be great. Your clips should tell me you're great. What helps me is, what did you get from that speaker coming to speak? As a result of Andrew coming on, we completely changed our strategy. And do you know what? We added 5% to the bottom line within a year. That's what I want as a testimonial. Yeah? If in a 3-minute reel, 4 to 6 is good. You can go to 8. It depends how long the writing is and how much there is. But if you can get a minimum of 4, that's really nice and sexy. Right. If you have awards and accolades, if you are standing there holding your Oscar and receiving it and George is presenting it to you, George Clooney, stick a photo in there. If you're presented with your MBE or you've been recognised for something, stick it in there. Put your awards and accolades in there. This is where you are allowed to show off. Yeah, it is your show reel. You're showing off. It's your highlights. If you're standing on top of a mountain and you've stuck the flag in, or you've landed on the moon, you probably know. Okay, a newspaper clipping saying that you're listed as the top 100 gurus by somebody or other. Stick it in. Top 50 people to watch in the next 10 years. Put it in. That's fabulous. That makes my life so easy. Think about who your audience is. If you're putting on your show reel for a corporate audience that you are a fellow of the PSA, sorry, fellows of the PSA, or a PSA president, they're not going to know what that means. If it's a group of speakers who are members of the PSA, that is relevant. So think about the relevance of your title. Books. If you've got a book, put it in there. If it's a best-selling book, put it in there. Mentions a bestseller, the #1 bestseller, or New York Times recognised, or best author. Like Simon Cowell does this whole thing about so many sales. 70,000 sales. Yeah, stick it on there. Translated in 7 languages. Absolutely. That gives you a lot of credibility. A nice testimonial from somebody who has read your book, who's got a famous name. Stick it on there. Author is the shortened version of authority for many clients, many corporate clients. They love authors. Even if you've self-published, it doesn't matter. It gives you authority. Music. Now, this is a tricky one. I love music, and I think it's important, as in a movie trailer, to keep it going, keep the flow, and keep all the bits together. However, you've got to be really careful which piece of music you choose. It does need to reflect your personality, and you need to drop it right down when you're speaking. A lot of people make the mistake where you're literally fighting the music when they're talking, and then it's a real struggle. I would use music. It does keep it flowing. So for me, these are the main ingredients, just to summarise. So you've got your introduction, your clips, testimonials, accolades, books, and your music. And then, of course, I was asked, have you got an example of one? I would book her after seeing that. I don't know about you guys.
So how was that, everybody? Maria, please don't leave us. Maria, can I have you back on stage, please?
Oh.
We got a little goodie bag for you to say thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Number two.
Wow, thank